Hello. Today we're going to talk about the opportunity to get your dogs acclimated to playing with other dogs at a friend's house or a neighbor, someone that you think your dog would get along with if they have a dog. When we want to socialize our puppies and our dogs with other dogs, we want to take in the total environment and we want to say, whose house are we going to? What is our game plan? What are we doing? Do they have akin play styles? We're going to find all this out. Okay. So when I got this email, there were a lot of questions being asked. It was two individuals that got together with their dogs that have met before at classes, and they felt like this would be a good opportunity for them to say, hey, let's get them together. We have appropriate space for them to play, and it's good for them. I agree. It's good for your dogs to have buddies and pals to play with. So make sure that you want to ensure that this is going to be a good experience for you and for them and the two dogs involved. So basically, the dogs went in, they got acclimated, and the dog that was visiting the other house didn't seem very interested in the other dog at first. I get it. There's a lot of new smells. There's a lot of new things to check out. So if the attention wasn't on the other dog, like you guys may assume immediately they're going to start playing, that's not always the case. Even if you bring them into the backyard and it's a fenced in backyard, you might find that the dog that's visiting doesn't really engage with the other dog that much because they're so busy exploring and checking everything else out. Once they get done with that and get acclimated, then they might play. And so that's fine. And that's very normal. It doesn't mean that they're not interested in palling around and playing, but it's kind of like, hey, I'm going to check out their place first. Show me around. What do you have here? You know, when you have people come over to your house, sometimes you show them around. Or if you're going to go into school, elementary, middle, high school, college, there's orientations first before you start going into classrooms or clubs or existing on campus life. You get acclimated. The dogs are doing the same thing. So allow that to happen. And that's a natural process. You want to look at how the other dog behaves that lives in that house, accepting that new dog. I don't recommend, if you feel like your dog is getting bored or disinterested, giving your dog's toys to the guest visitor. I don't agree with that. I think that we're not there to play with the other dog's toys. We're there for them to engage, interact, get used to each other. And so this occurred, and then there was a little bit of resource guarding and snapping and growling when the visiting dog was playing with the other dog's toys. So we don't want that to happen. And put the toys up if you can. If you have a basket, put the toys up so there's not an issue there. When I board dogs that come here, people often ask, can I bring my dog's favorite squeaky toy or something for the dog to have in the crate? And I typically tell them, really, we're not even going to utilize those things. I don't want communal toys. We're just going to go out. We're going to enjoy the dogs. I can get out a pool. I can get out a soccer ball. I can get out different things that we have, but it's not your dog's particular favorite toy that you're bringing here. That might get destroyed, chewed on, or another dog decides, hey, I really like that toy more than you, so I'm going to keep it from you. That doesn't go over so well. So keep those toys away from the other puppy or dog that's visiting. So another thought was indoor, outdoor. What are your expectations? Do these individuals have same expectations? Think about, is their dog allowed on the furniture? Maybe you don't let your dog on the furniture. So when you go to someone else's house, the dog's on the couch and then your dog jumps on the couch and you're like, is this okay? Sure. My dog's allowed on the couch. It's all right. Well, do you want your dog to jump on your couch at home? Will they figure out that this is just your playing? Or are they going to say, hey, I think I can jump on my couch at home? So think about different things that you want to have as a standard for your dog and your expectations as well. If you don't want them jumping on the couch, say, I don't want my dog on the couch. Let's go outside and play, something like that. If you feel like the dogs are outside, so one of the concerns was the dogs were outside. They were playing for about 10 minutes. It was great. They're having a good time. And then they plopped down in a shady spot and we're just hanging out. So at that point, they thought, well, they need something else to do. And that's not always the case. It's a really good idea if your dog can pal around with someone, and then they can relax together. That's awesome. That's amazing. We don't have to fulfill their time with activities all the time. Resting is not something that comes natural to us as an activity when you think about that, but it is an activity. You're allowed to rest. You're allowed to, this says the dogs play for 10 minutes straight. Have you seen dogs play for 10 minutes? It's zoomies, it's chasing, it's tumbling, it's twirling. It is fast, it's engagement. I bet they do need a break. If you had me running like that for 10 minutes, I'd be exhausted. I don't think I'd make it 10 minutes, to be honest. So, think about that. They're going to need downtime, and that's okay. So you can just sit and relax and hang out with the other owner and talk and let them be and exist without doing anything. They'll get up eventually, they'll sniff around, do something else, check in with you. So that's absolutely probably a perfect play date. And then you can head home. Don't feel like you have to continue to entertain them. You can head home. So another thing to think about is when you're starting these play dates with other dogs and it's new concept or a new dog or a new environment, you don't have to say, oh, we'll come over for an hour. It doesn't have to be an hour. It doesn't have to be a half an hour. It could be 3 minutes. It could be 5. It could be 10. It could be 15. Whatever it is, make sure that both dogs are in a good mindset, good position to be in. Everyone's happy, and take your opportunity to leave then. Don't wait until they get ornery and cranky because they're tired and exhausted and they've played too much, or they're getting into trouble now. They're not playing anymore. So now they're digging in the flower bed. That's not what we're looking for. We want to end on a good note, start on a good note, and also they can play and have some downtime. But don't think you have to be there forever in order to entertain them. That's not what we're going for.